thought we have a run through of the event. It probably starts with you, Phil, really.
Well, we have got 140 participants at the moment, because we've had a few withdrawals, who don't count. So it's 144 as my...
And then I suppose things will then start to quieten down at Duke of York's.
Because you're all doing the walk and you're all helping on the event. If it wasn't for you wonderful people, there wouldn't be a Cinque Ports, and I would say thank you all so much.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am Keith Warman. Good morning.
And are you local?
I'm a member of the Kent Group, so although I'm in Sussex, I'm local, yes.
Brilliant, excellent. And done the event before?
Yes, I've completed 27 hundreds now, so touch wood, this will be number 28, all being well.
Wow, brilliant. Favourite spots along the way?
Favourite spots, everything really. I love the whole concept of the 100. I love the camaraderie, I love the people, I love the scenery. I love the fact that it's a great sort of British institution. It's low key, it's non-competitive. It's just a crazy British thing where the one who comes in last gets as much applause and accolade, or if not more, than the one who comes in first.
Absolutely.
Plus, there's a little walk in the middle to do as well.
It's the achievement.
It's the achievement, it's the personal achievement.
Absolutely.
And I love the non-competitiveness.
Yes, yes. So what are the challenges along the way?
The challenges for me, well, there's navigation, there's food and drink and making sure you moderate that, there's feet and body, making sure that's okay, there's brain, making sure that's okay. A particular challenge for me is staying awake.
Right.
I do like to have a little nap once or twice on the route for 20 minutes, half an hour at a time, and I find that does me the world of good.
Yeah. So one strong tip that you would give to someone starting today for the first time?
Take your time. Let all the hare's hair off and be a tortoise like me towards the back of the field.
Hello Jim, how are you? So haven't lost anyone on the first section?
Remarkable. The planning takes 3 to 4 years, I would say, for a 100-mile event. We already know where they are for the next 3 years, and they're all planning away and working merrily, even though it's years ahead of us. You do get cliff falls, not as much as some parts of the country, but you do get cliff falls, so you have to be fairly flexible in your final route.
The main event had this. The marshals got this. The Field of Doom. And in the dark.
Just enjoy it and don't worry about the time. If you keep going at a reasonable pace and don't stay too long at the checkpoints, you will not run out of time. And watch the weather. Make sure you have a hat.
And at the end, how do you celebrate?
Well, I rather like a nice cup of tea.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sheila.
And you are?
I'm Graham Smith. I'm the organiser of the whole event.
So how long has this actually been in the planning?
4 years. Hell of a lot of work,
Yes.
And we've got a fairly small team, and we've all been working really hard, I have to say. We're all volunteers, that's right. I've got a very, very understanding partner. She put up with an awful lot, my wife has. In a few minutes, we're all going to the seafront for the start of the walk. Brian will be leading the first 100 yards of the walk along the seafront, after which he's going to step aside and you will be on your way. Finally, we have a very special guest. Admiral of the Fleet, the Lord Boyce, Lord Warden of the Cinque Ports. Lord Boyce has had a glittering career in the Royal Navy, serving as First Sea Lord and Chief of the Naval Staff, and also as Chief of Defence Staff. He's the latest in a long line of very distinguished people, including Sir Winston Churchill and the Queen Mother, to be appointed Lord Warden of the Cinque Ports. We're very, very honoured to have him here, so thank you very much for coming, sir. In a few moments, Lord Boyce going to say a few words to you, but before that, I just have to go through a couple of things, and apologies if I'm stating the obvious here. Firstly, it's going to be hot today, as it was on the Marshall's Walk, and as it was on Nightingale's Walk a few weeks ago. There's going to be at least one extra drink stock, but please make sure your water bottle has drink in it. Believe me, you're going to need it. Secondly, there's some lost property here. Let me know if you can look through. Obviously, we hope no one has to retire, but if you do have to retire, please try to do so at a checkpoint. If you cannot do this, then please ring us and we will come and pick you up. The emergency phone number is on your tally card. Finally, there will be a kit check. I can tell you that we won't keep you waiting too long for the kit check, and you're going to be asked to produce a few items which you've been instructed to carry with you. Sorry to state the obvious, but the kit check is a basic safety requirement, and I'm afraid that if anyone fails it, then the kit check team will have no choice but to disqualify them. Anyway, I wish you all the luck in the world over the next 2 days. Enjoy the walk and keep hydrated. It now gives me great pleasure to hand over to Admiral of the Fleet, the Lord Boyce, Lord Port of the Cinque Ports.
Good morning to you all, and welcome to you all here to Hastings. And it's really good to be here with you this morning, and it brings back memories when my Fleur and I kicked off a sponsored walk from here in Hastings around the Cinque Ports some 13 or so years ago, 2005. And I believe that walk, which was organised by John Goodwin, who I think is back at the Duke of York at the moment, he was then Deputy Mayor of Dover. That walk inspired this one today. And back then, Fleur and I even walked part of the actual route, a pleasure which I'm afraid I shall have to forego today. I understand now that the 100 is the long distance walkers flagship event that takes place annually somewhere around the country, and I'm absolutely delighted that this year the Cinque Ports are the chosen location. And Cinque, by the way, is the normal pronunciation of Sank. Anybody saying Sank somewhere around the walk today? We'll have to go back and start again. Right? Cinque Ports. Anyway, it's hoped that after this weekend, the route can remain as a long-distance walk to be done over several days in sort of 10 to 11 mile stretches. And there are plans for the walk to go onto the Kent Ramblers programme next year as a series of walks. It's also great to see such a strong gathering here, gusting 500 or so of you, and I hope you're fit and ready for what I'm sure will be the most enjoyable walk through the lovely countryside down here in East Sussex and Kent. And with lots of points of interest on the way, not least of which going to see all of these 7 major Cinque Ports. That's to say, of course, Hastings here, but New Romney, Hythe, Dover, Sandwich, Rye and Winchelsea, and some of the Cinque Port limbs as well, Templeton, Lydd and Deal. I was going to give you a 15-minute talk about what the Cinque Ports are all about, but I think that would probably test your patience too far. I'm sure you all know that we go back 1,000 years, and it's a fantastic organisation. Can I just take the opportunity to say thank you very much to the Confederation of the Cinque Ports and all the councils of the Cinque Ports for their support today, because they in particular have been very helpful in providing things like checkpoints and so forth. And then their help has been invaluable. And also thank you to the Duke of York's school, which I no doubt some of you come down from this morning, for their help in the enterprise as well. And finally, of course, a great thank you to Sussex East Coast College, in whose lovely building we're standing here as our starting point. I'm quite sure, actually, that all of you would rather have had the new Duke and Duchess of Sussex do this, but bad luck, you've got me. And I think on that particular note, I'll say it's my great pleasure to say that let's set off with the start of the Cinque Ports 100, and good luck to everybody. Have a great walk today. Thank you.
Okay, if you would like to make your way to the seafront, we're going to start the walk.
Hastings, and we go all over Fairlight. Do that at a club run once a year. Watch yourself, ladies, as you go round. Gents.
Thanks very much.
Morning. Watch yourself. Now. Morning.
£10, please.
That's about the only time we'll do it, so.
When you get to the top of the steps, you won't be smiling so much.
Morning, watch yourself as you go round.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marshall. Watch yourself as you go past there. Morning. Watch yourself as you go round. Thank you, Marshall.
Morning, how are you? Have the Danes been past yet? Have the Danish flags been past yet? Yeah, lots more to come then.
Good morning. Watch
Morning.
yourself. Morning.
Morning. Oh yeah, thank you.
Morning.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Piers.
Come on, Essex.
Morning.
Morning.
Where have you been? Where have you been?
Where have I been? Taking it easy.
Morning.
Watch the step, Peter.
Good
Not enough.
Thank you.
Cheers.
You're halfway now.
The sea's 10 miles away from us at Exeter. I don't know it's 10 miles away from us.
But I'm doing a lot of cycling here. I will do
Oh God.
It got me in the back of the neck, you know.
This is a flat walk, don't forget.
Yeah, okay.
Myself on pay date. Hello. Hello. I'm going to go for the other.
Yes, yeah.
Everything else.
And your favourite spots along the way?
The first stretch, Hastings Country Park, which is absolutely lovely. The White Cliffs are very nice as well. And of course Rye is very nice. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I have to say, I think we've given them a very good walk, a walk with a lot of variety in it. Lots of points of interest.
Yeah.
And of course Dover's very nice as well.
Have you done the event before, Greg?
I have. I've done 1000.
So how did the concept of the Cinque Ports 100 come about?
It's a long story, Sheila, but 14 years ago I did a charity walk organised by a friend of mine called John Goodwin, who was then Deputy Mayor of Dover. And we walked from Sandwich to Hastings in, I think, 3 days. So being a member of the LDWA and always up for a challenge, I thought some of us would like to do it in one go. When it came for us to sort of bid to organise 100, we thought, well, a Cinque Ports 100 had a certain ring to it. We've had tremendous help and cooperation from all the Cinque Ports. Some of the checkpoints we've got in town council offices, and we have those for free. We're very, very grateful.
And we must say a big thank you to all those people at the checkpoints.
Yeah, well, they're all volunteers, Sheila, and they've all been, they're going to be working through the night. These people are going to be walking through the night, but we're going to be working through the night.
Indeed.
2 nights, most of us, so no, I can't thank them enough.
And what is, finally, a good way to celebrate at the end?
Yeah, hot bath and cold beer. That's how I always celebrate at the end of Challenge Walk, Sheila.
It's Fiona.
Fiona and
Merv.
We come from London.
And have you actually done the event before?
Yes, both of us have.
Right, so how many times have you done that?
Oh, I've only done it twice.
Oh, well done. And
15.
I'm sure you know this. How many times perhaps people walk the route beforehand?
Not everyone does,
No.
but and a lot of people try and walk the section where they'd be at night,
Right.
or the final section, because the final section you go a bit brain dead,
yeah.
and so therefore you want to have something that's familiar.
You know, when you did it, what did you feel most proud of?
The first one I ever did, I had no feelings whatsoever,
Oh, gosh.
absolutely none. But no, yeah, it's a sense of, the real thing is a sense of camaraderie.
How did you celebrate at the end?
With a lovely hot shower, I think.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. You don't go out on the town straight away.
I'm sure
Maybe
you
the
don't.
day after, but not on the day.
What is the role for today? Are you sort of instrumental in motivating people as they come along? Especially if you're towards the end?
Normally if you know them, you end up by insulting them.
Really?
Because you find that's the best way to get the adrenaline
yes.
in and get
And a little bit of humour.
Absolutely.
Yes. morning.
Good morning.
And you are?
My name's David Morgan.
And are you local?
No, I'm from South Wales.
So, have you done this event before?
I have done the 100 on a number of occasions, yes. This will be my, if I finish it, it'll be my 17th. I mean, I know that Kent were very keen on organising the 100 several years ago and had decided that they wanted to show people the Cinque Ports and knew that it would have to become a linear route. But I do remember Kent being very interested in showing us this part of the world.
Bye, Gary.
Hello there. Well, I was the national 100 coordinator for 3 years, so I know how much work has gone into organising this. So it's been 4 years worth of planning to date by Graham Smith and his team. A huge amount of work by a large number of volunteers.
When people are doing this maybe for the first time, how many of them do you think actually sort of do a practice route or a section?
Lots of people do. Lots of people do recce the 100. People still do, even when they have experience. But no, new people to the 100, it's a daunting prospect walking 100 miles. And whilst it's a physical challenge, it's a mental challenge as well. And people like to know what's ahead of them. So yeah, there's a lot of checking of the route does take place by people who are new to the event. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going past Dover again. I like the cliffs near there.
Iconic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We just came through now on the coach. It's just a busy port, and it's a place that's got such a buzz about it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm looking forward to Sandwich, because at that point I leave the coast and I know I've got about 10 miles to finish at the end as well. But I'm looking forward to Sandwich because I took my boy to the Open there many years ago, and we walked along the coastline then on the Links golf course, so I'm hoping to see some of that as well.
Challenges along the way?
During the night for me, the 4 o'clock in the morning feeling is always a challenge. Your body starts to feel low. You know you've still got a fair bit of mileage ahead of you. But when that sun comes up on the second day, it just reboots the body and away you go again. But that's the challenge for me, is the night section, yeah.
And maybe one piece of advice that you give to someone who's doing it for the first time?
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Oh,
because
wonderful piece of
because it's just a walk.
At the end, how will you celebrate?
Cup of tea.
Good morning.
And your name is?
Marla Howard Cots. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it,
sure
especially with the weather being good.
Yes. So how many previous 100s have you done?
I've done 13, so if I finish this one, it will be my 14.
And how do your family and friends think about you doing this?
Even though they think I'm mad, they brag a lot about me, saying, oh, my friend Marla's doing the 100. They're taking all the glory. I do all the hard work. But they're really proud of me. Oh, I love the night. I absolutely love night walking. It's so private, and you can look up at the stars, and absolutely, I love it. It's my favourite time.
And do you prefer to walk alone or with other people?
I love to walk with people, because to me this is what it's all about, is being with friends, and having a chat, and if the time goes.
And when you're finished walking, what do you look forward to?
The best is when I walked into the hall and everybody clapping. Oh, my heart swells up.
Shirley Hume.
Shirley, good morning, Shirley. And I believe you have done this event several times.
I've done 3500s, started in 1982 and done them all since then. So this will be number 36, and I've got 40 as my target. Don't overthink it.
Right.
Just think about getting to the next checkpoint. Yes. When you start to feel a bit tired, say 30, 40 miles, don't think I've got another 60 miles to go. Just say, where's the next checkpoint? 6 miles, I can do 6 miles. Kent is famous on its hundreds for its weather, good or bad. You can't practice for 100 miles. You do a few long ones, you do at least 150, but really, I think it's 90% mental.
Richard Denby.
So good morning, Richard. So how many hundreds have you done, Richard?
I've done 10 now.
So this is number 11?
Partly because there's less climbing than on many other hundreds.
Yes.
That's what attracted me. Also, the article in Strider gave a very good write-up about the route, and I thought this sounds very attractive. I'm a slower walker. I'll be going through 2 nights.
Okay.
My energy levels have certainly gone down. So I'm going to see how far I can go. It'd be nice to finish.
And my very first night walk was the Wenlock 50 in Shropshire, and I absolutely loved it because of the sheep's eyes getting lit up with your head torch and the cow's eyes, and then seeing the other walkers' torches going up the hill. And I love night walking, actually.
My name is Jeremy Cork, and I won't be on my own at night. I will join up with some people because there's nothing worse than getting lost on your own at night. About 50, 60, 70 miles, I'll be with somebody else and I'll probably stay with them for the rest of the time. And it's nice to chat to people and it helps pass the time and get rid of a bit of pain, I suppose. I've done 10 so far. And you can be up to any age, as you say. There's somebody at 83 doing this today.
Christine Usher from Thames Valley.
Are you looking forward to this event?
I am, but I wish it were a bit cooler.
So how many events have you done before?
I've completed 8, but I've done a few more than that.
Do you happen to know the route at all?
I haven't walked from here to Rye, but I have walked the rest of it.
The rest. So do you have any favourite spots?
Getting to the top of the cliff after Folkestone. Yes. There was a cafe there.
416.
416, do you want your bag?
416.
Are very, very tired, but you're not rational if you're going for this sort of thing anyway, so let it come.
Peter, Joel. I am at the moment being transport manager, making sure all the retirees get back to where they start and all the food gets to where people want to eat it and all the rubbish gets where people want to throw it away, and lots of other little bits, putting out the safety signs on the roads, and it's a very simple job. I just tell other people what to do, but it's getting a little complex at times. Well, we've got 4 hire vehicles out there, 2 minibuses, a big van and a little van. The little van's going around doing the little jobs, except some of the little jobs have transferred into jobs that are too big for the van because they won't fit, and the big van's primarily moving the bags around. Yeah, I mean, the bags have gone well. They've all ended up where they should be in time so far. There is a regulation size for the bags, and let's just say some people stretched those regulations beyond the limit. I think they might have been thrown off EasyJet.
Because it all seems to be going very, very well indeed.
That's what you think, because you can't see what's not going so well.
I'm David.
You're David?
Yes.
And your job today, David?
Well, same as yesterday, which was to move all the breakfast and end bags, which I did all day yesterday for about 12-13 hours, from here to Hastings and Dover about 3 or 4 times, and now we're pretty much doing the same in reverse all day today. Well, I joined about 3 years ago, and I wish I joined about 33 years ago. It's
really?
It's a wonderful group. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's super lovely people. I've made some really good friends, and it's just good fun.
Yeah, look, you're being videoed.
And what have you got planned for the rest of the day?
Staying awake. Joined? Oh no, that's a difficult question because I can't remember. Okay. But about 7 or 8 years ago.
Right, okay.
I'm the group treasurer, which is a relatively straightforward job for somebody who knows how to add up. And a more challenging role is the walks organiser.
Brian Butterfund.
Good morning, Brian. And you are a member of the LDWA, aren't you?
I'm a founder member of the Kent Group.
Right.
Probably the first secretary. Had a spell later on as the chairman, and now they've bestowed the honour of the president on me. The Kent Group have hosted it 3 times before. I'll be at Northbourne checkpoint later on.
Excellent.
So I'll see life at 90 miles.
Come on, Wendy.
Just up there.
Down there. Turn left, yeah. And then a bit more after that.
I'm using the official LTWA Twitter account. On Saturday, I think we had one person at almost every checkpoint which was open at the time.
I'm Colin Bowman. I'm Deputy Controller for Kent County Railnet. We're looking after the communications for all the event checkpoints. I find 50 volunteers who cover something like nearly 1,000 man-hours.
Yeah.
Traditionally, it's by radio because that's what a Railnet is set up for. But we've used a lot of extra systems on this one. Effectively a call centre in. We've provided an emergency number for lost walk. We've got trackers in vehicles and on the person at the back so we can see where they are at all times.
Do tell us your name, please.
It's Isman Cooper.
So,
My first hike with LDWA and the first 100 miler. Well, it's the first time hiking in Kent, another first. Saturday and Sunday were just brutal. I mean, coming up the cliffs at Dover, I nearly suffered from a heat stroke. I had to stop at the cafe and have 2 big tumblers of ice water. I mean, I've done a number of 100Ks before, and for this sort of elevation game, because it's not very much for a 100K. I've been hiking in Hong Kong, and Trail Walker there is 4,800 metres of ascent. But my time would be 21, 22 hours, and I think I was something like 24, but didn't actually leave the checkpoint until 25 hours. I need an hour in the checkpoint just to calm down. And I really don't want to take off my shoes. I know there's problems.
My name is Govind. I'm the chauffeur in chief for my daughter and her walking partner, Mira and Paul. I do think we have long distance walking events, but none that I know where you spend 2 sleepless nights.
I heard that
I thought you liked going out looking for lost people.
they'd have got to Maidenhill without going through Northbourne. Is that right?
No. They got to Maidenhill about 3 hours ago. And right here.
Right. Talk to...
No, I thought you might want to go out and find them.
No, talk to... Oh, he's gone.
Who?
Nick Farrer. He saw a whole bunch of people approaching Whitfield Roundabout.
So did he? Whitfield Roundabout?
Yes.
7 or 8?
Yeah, see that, Tara?
Yeah, a big bunch of people.
That sounds like 7 or 8. Oh, right. So they could be anywhere then?
Yeah.
Walking down the A2.
It's still bloody easy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Have we got contact numbers for any of them?
I guess if one of them's gone wrong, then if they're all in a bunch, they'll all go wrong.
Yeah.
The weather was beautiful, as you know, perfect weather, but a little bit too hot. Kent is beautiful. I have to come back and do another visit here.
We did like the light show that was on Saturday night. It was very beautiful, yes. The best lightning that I've seen, yeah. I was feeling okay until about 40 miles. And then it didn't really go to plan because my feet started hurting, got bad blisters, and unfortunately had to retire at the breakfast stop at 58 miles. But that means that I've qualified for next year. So I shall be back.